So I don't know if you noticed, but these Korean day spas are definitely popular, right? So at this point, I've been to two different ones. I'm in the DMV area. So I've been to Spa World, which seems to be more of a traditional lean-in Korean day spa. And I went on a weekday, late morning by myself. And I've also been to Balian Springs, which markets itself as a luxury spa experience. And I went there on a Saturday afternoon with friends. And I'd been once before on a Monday, it was a holiday with friends. And what I noticed is that all three experiences were great, but they were very different. They were great for different reasons. The first one, the solitude, the tradition actually of it all, and even the nudity, that vulnerability, it did something. It was good. And the pool, the hydrotherapy, it was all very relaxing. Now, Balian, on the other hand, very different experience. Still relaxing, but the social aspect did add something and it also removed something. So, just taking all the experiences together between the solitude, the relaxation, the rooms, I I got curious about, what's actually happening when we go to these places, how we experience them, what are the real benefits, mental versus biological, and how can we be more strategic when we go and get, how can we get the most benefits without really overthinking it. So that's what we're going to get into today. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Well with Mika, where we talk real wellness for your real life. I'm Mika, your cultural wellness ally, and today we're going to break down these Korean spas, right? What the science says, what the marketing says, and what I've actually experienced. I can't speak for you. I can only speak to what the research is saying, what these websites are saying and marketing, and what I've experienced. So I ain't no gatekeeping or nothing. I'm not telling you you're doing it wrong, but we're definitely going to share some learning and experiences so that we could just be more strategic, okay, in how we approach these things because they cost money, all right? So I want you to spend your coin right. So let's get into it. Before we go further, though, I have to say high heat and cold plunges, which are offered at these places, are powerful physiological stresses. So I need you to understand if you have high blood pressure, heart conditions, diabetes, or cardiovascular concerns, please check with your doctor before doing extreme temperature therapy. Please think about that before you gift anyone this type of service or experience because they need to understand what they're getting into. And, we want to stress our systems for growth, but we don't want to create any medical emergencies, all right? So let's be mindful of these things. Be smart. Talk to your doctor before you go, or make sure you check with any friend or family member if you want to gift them this experience. And, before we get into all of that, all right? So let's talk about the benefits now. Let me start with the benefits I can confirm from my own personal experience because I think this is where a lot of the real value lives, and sometimes I think it gets overlooked. Number one is the change of scenery. When I, in particular, go into the spa, you are leaving your environment. I mean, we're all leaving our regular day-to-day environment. But when I talk about leaving it, I mean like the phone is staying somewhere else. The phone ain't with me. You're entering a completely different space physically, and you're shifting your brain. Like your brain is getting those signals that this is not regular life, this is different, right? And that shift matters. And when you add that change of scenery with now you leaving your phone, you're checked out, you putting it away, you are really disconnecting, especially in this day and age. For you people that ain't grow up, you in your 20s or your early 30s and your life has been phones and screens, listen, that disconnection definitely makes a difference. It's not I'll just check it once. No, it's gone. It's away from you. You ain't got it. You have a clock on the wall, an analog clock most, okay? So that physical disconnection means something. And knowing that you'll be there in this space for hours, not just a little 20 minutes, not a quick errand, not a little quickie dip in, dip out, that gives you that full permission to just be, just unplug fully. And that definitely is meaningful. Now, we also want to talk about that solo time versus the good company time because both are definitely valuable. When I went to Spa World alone on a weekday, it was quiet, it was introspective. I could think, I could process, I could just be. And then when I went to Balian with friends, it was connection, it was laughter. We talked, we ate, we relaxed. We had a shared experience. And I still enjoyed all of the things that the spa offered. And both of those are real wellness, and both of them are definitely valuable. So, what I want to clearly say is that the mental wellness benefits, that change of scenery, the no phone, the solo time or good company time, those are all real. Mental health matters, stress relief matters, connection matters. And honestly, for a lot of people, this is enough. You don't even need to quote unquote optimize. You don't need to optimize the biology to get the value from these experiences, from these spas. If you go, disconnect, relax, and feel better, there goes a wellness win right there. But now, when we go beyond the mental benefits, there are also biological benefits that these places are supposedly designed for, right? And this is where I got really curious about the science because I can't just leave it at, oh, the vibes are good, right? I need to know if it's really actually working. So let me share what I've learned and what I've experienced and kind of tested and what I haven't even tried yet. So number one is the hydrotherapy pools, the ones with the jets at the different stations and the different parts of your body. You're getting freaking blasted. You're getting beat up by these jets. For real, it's an assault. It's an assault, but in the best way. And that is one of the most evidence-backed parts of the experience. The hydrotherapy has been studied for decades, and the benefits include buoyancy, which reduces joint stress because you weigh less in the water, right? Warm water dilates the blood vessels, which improves your circulation. The jets provide that mechanical massage, releasing muscle tension and stimulating pressure points. Hydrostatic pressure, where pressure on your body can reduce swelling and improve lymphatic drainage. And let me tell you, I could confirm it. I felt it. It was amazing. Okay, the jets on my back, my legs, the shoulders. Oh my gosh, that muscle relief was heaven. Okay, then we're going to get into the heat cold contrast. Now that's another, it's a core protocol because even though I haven't tried it yet, I know from the research that this one is a big one. And the science says that it works. And I'm planning to test it because I did the rooms, I did the hydrotherapy pools, the cold and the heat, but I didn't do it systematically. I didn't really test it the way that it should be tested. When you move between the high heat, like a sauna, and cold, like the ice room or cold plunge, that is called contrast therapy. So the heat is going to cause vasodilation. That means your blood vessels, they're going to widen. The blood flow increases. Then the cold causes vasoconstriction, which means your blood vessels are going to narrow. Then when you rest and warm back up, that fresh oxygenated blood floods your tissues. And this cycle is supposed to flush metabolic waste from your muscles, reduce inflammation, train your cardiovascular system, and improve stress resilience over time. And the research on this is strong. But to be honest, I haven't, like I said, done this systematic protocol yet. I've done heat, I've done the cold, but I haven't done the whole structured circuit together, okay? And that's what I'm aiming for on my next visit. Then let's get into the sauna materials, okay? The sauna rooms. What's real versus what's aesthetics and ambiance. We're going to talk about the different sauna rooms. So you've got your clay rooms like the Los Clay, I believe it's called, the charcoal, the Himalayan salt, those different rooms, right? What the spas often claim is that these materials emit far infrared radiation, FIR, and that penetrates deep into your muscles. Some claim they detoxify your body. But here's the nuance, right? True infrared saunas with dedicated FIR emitting panels do produce infrared wavelengths that penetrate deeper into tissue than regular heat. And there's research on this. But most traditional Korean spas are heated using convection, so it's hot air, or conduction, hot surfaces, not the dedicated far infrared radiation panels. The materials, they may emit some FIR as a byproduct of being heated, but it's not the same as a clinical infrared sauna. What you're actually getting is high ambient heat that raises your core temperature, triggers sweating, and increases circulation. And that's definitely valuable. The heat works. The materials, they add the sensory elements, the scent of maybe the hinoki wood, the glow of a salt room, the smooth clay feel, right? Both the heat and the ambiance, they matter. Just know which is which and know the extent, the dose of what you're actually getting. As for the detoxification, look, your liver and your kidneys, that's where your primary detox happens. Those are your detox organs. Sweating does release some metabolic waste, your urea, salt, trace amounts of heavy metals, but it's a minor pathway compared to what your liver and your kidneys do. So these rooms, they make you sweat, which is part of your body's normal cooling process, but they're not dramatically detoxing you, okay? What they are doing is they're helping you relax, reduce your stress, and improve your circulation. And chronic stress is way more toxic to your body than most environmental exposures anyway. So just know that going in. Now, the salt rooms. Salt rooms, just a quick note, with Himalayan salt walls, they're beautiful and calming. But true halotherapy, the salt therapy for respiratory health, requires a machine. It's a whole machine called a halo generator that disperses tiny salt particles into the air. Most Korean spas, they have decorative salt walls, right? That release some ambient salt when heated, but not at clinical concentration. So you're getting a relaxing, pretty space, but not clinical grade respiratory therapy unless there's one of those generators there, the halo generator. And that's okay. It's still a nice experience. Just like I said, know what you are getting. So the summary is hydrotherapy pools, strong science. I felt it. We're good. That's good money right there. The heat cold contrast, definitely strong science. I plan to test that out. Let me know if you've tested it out yourself. The sauna materials, the heat works, ambiance adds value, detox claims, a little overstated, bit overstated, but it's still nice, right? Salt rooms, same, beautiful, common, just not clinical grade halotherapy unless there's a machine in there. All right, so based on what I've learned, what I'm planning to test on my next go around is I'm thinking of, building a type of circuit. So it's going to be like a loop that I do 2 or 3 times. There'll be two main approaches. One is going to be the inflammation reset, where I do a heat cold contrast. Let me know if you want me to share that with you. It's going to be something like a 15 minutes on, 3 minutes, 15-minute heat, 3-minute cold, 15-minute rest. Do that a few times so that I could get all the benefits from the dilation, the constriction, and my nervous system and cardiovascular system reset. All right, that's one. Then I'm also curious to see how I'm gonna feel, of course, after doing it. I want to know. And then I'm gonna do a sensory glow type of circuit, and this is more just all about relaxation and skin benefits, closer to kind of what I've been doing naturally. So 20 minutes in a clay or a sauna, just to open up the pores and sweat. I love to sweat. I'm one of those people that's weird like that. I just love to sweat. Then go into the hydrotherapy pool with the jets. And look, out here you have to pay, well, at the luxury spa, you're paying for a full body scrub. At Spa World, it looked like there's a section where you could go in and just do the scrubs yourself, or if you're with a friend, they could help scrub you off too. And then after that, 20 minutes in the hinoki bath or infrared room. So that's going to open up my pores, remove the dead skin. I heard your skin feels amazing. I didn't get it done, but a friend did tell me that she felt brand spanking new after her scrub and really relaxed. So I really would love to try that. And this is more so about the deep physiological, it's less about the deep physiological changes and more just about the surface benefits and that mental reset. And look, I think that's also valuable. So the key is to just pick your intent before you go. Recovering from training or dealing with inflammation, try the contrast circuit. Mentally exhausted and you need to feel pampered, do the sensory circuit. Both are real wellness, just different tools for different needs. So you just want to, know and have a good intention when you go in. So what I want you to take away is that these spas, they offer two types of benefits, the mental and the biological. The mental benefits, the change of scenery, no phone, solo time with a good company, they're real, they matter. The biological benefits through the hydrotherapy, heat cold contrast, the science is strong there, and like I said, I'm planning to test it. And honestly, for most of us, the mental benefits alone are definitely worth it. I'm just saying. So if you go to one of these spas, you disconnect for a few hours, relax and feel better, that is wellness. You don't have to optimize the biology to get the value. I just want you to know what you're paying for, okay? Know and have your intention set. All right? The If you layer on that biological benefit, the timing, the strategy, going when it's not too crowded, knowing which circuit you're gonna do, that is that's more. I mean, I want to say icing on top or the cherry on top, but I mean it's just all the better, right? Then you're getting really more bang for your buck. And I want you to try it all. Try it all if you can, because they're all legitimate ways of improving your health and wellness. And, just know wellness isn't one size fits all. So do what feels right to you. It's about knowing what your body needs right now and creating the conditions for it to get what it needs. So if this episode helped you think differently about these Korean spas, or made you want to try it or optimize, quote unquote, I hate the word optimize, but you know what I mean. You want to go and get the most bang for your buck and spend your time wisely, please share it in the comment. Let me know. Are you planning to gift yourself or someone with the spa day? Do you have one near you? Have you tried a protocol that works? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Okay? As always, happy health and peace.